Yo. What's up? What's going on? What's good, everybody? Yeah, I'm back at it once again here with the midweek report. We, are trying to see if we could have a few things go on here, while we do this midweek report. For the time being. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I could get in contact with somebody. Um, to see if they are able uh to join. Let's see. But it's been a very, like I said, it's been a very busy, past few days. What's going on, Osman Canales? What's going on? Um, Very busy past few days. And just like I said, still, catching up from being in Vegas. Just had a earlier live here, of course, and yeah, just trying to, if I can, get a guest to join here in a moment, but it would be through alternate means if I did that. So just trying to set that up here for the time being. And while that's going on, just give a quick shout out to everyone that is listening live on YouTube and on Rumble. Just like I said, I mean, there's been a whole lot of news that's been dropping here and there on the boxing front. Of course, you have this main topic here when it comes to Santos Saul Alvarez Barragan and Terence Allen Crawford. There has been, a few things that has been dropped as far as like, okay, they're pretty much within agreement to have a fight happen and it's going to happen on this date and everything like that. So it's just trying to get these specifics there. Big ups to, like I said, Osman Canales here for the Midweek Report. What's going on? And shout out to Ring Rock Boxing Podcast that has, here shows on Sundays, pretty much before have my podcast on Sunday evenings. Shout out to y'all. But one of the talk about this as being a potential matchup. As far as like, okay, is it actually going to happen? Well, it looks like, there's been a few things that have been dropped as far as like, okay, this could be, happening on a certain date or, where it's going to be at and everything like that. So, we're trying to, get, a few details here and there when it comes to that, right? So let's see here if I could, try to get things going in reference to all of that. But, also, in the meantime, see if I could, have a few other guests out here with me to talk about or to react to, what these news are, right? Well, the thing about it is that, well, it seems like the reports are, out there saying that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford could be fighting on September 13th, and that it could be in Allegiant Stadium. Ooh. Allegiant Stadium, man. Yeah, that's gonna be something if they pull that off. Of course, Allegiant Stadium is home to the Las Vegas Raiders. At times they have other special events over at Allegiant Stadium, other football events. What was it? They had LSU versus USC at Allegiant Stadium this past season. Number of concerts, this, that, and the third. But to actually have a boxing event there at Allegiant Stadium would be absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? I wanted to kind of go into what is it, the as they say, the tail of the tape, so to speak, when it comes to Allegiant Stadium. Now, it says that it could hold up to 65,000 people at Allegiant Stadium. Now, this is completely not like how, they had AT&T Stadium for Errol Spence Jr. versus Jordanis Ugas. That was a scene in itself. Of course, that particular stadium holds over 100,000 people, but, they scaled it for, boxing, right? So are they going to have the full venue open for this particular bout? That remains to be seen. First, it has to be confirmed that the fight is going to take place in September, number one, and number two, that it would be in Allegiant Stadium. I don't see why it wouldn't be, much hassle to have it over at T-Mobile Arena. And given, the amount of money that both of the fighters would pretty much ask for in order for the fight to take place, yeah, you would have, a pretty steep price for tickets at T-Mobile Arena for that fight to happen. But hey, if fight fans want to go ahead and see the event, they will go ahead and see the event. Riyadh season has been known to have, crazy fight cards, fairly stacked fight cards, is, some would kind of say, but we haven't necessarily seen that they have something of this particular juncture, having a Canelo versus Terence Crawford and how they would be able to work fights under that. I mean, we got something coming up here on February 22nd, which is a, crazy fight card in itself. Of course, you have the rematch, Batrevia versus Bivol. You have, Joseph Parker versus Daniel Dubois, right? You have Shakur Stevenson versus Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield, right? You have Zalay Zhang there that's going to be in action on that fight card as well, right? So it's Callum Smith is going to be there against Joshua Buatsi. Like, so many fights on that card. Virgil Ortiz Jr. there against Israel Madrimov. So we've seen that there have been examples from Riyadh season that says that they can have fairly stacked cards, but how would it be done if you're going to have, Canelo versus Crawford commanding the amount of money that they have? You know what I mean? So that's the thing on that. So my thing is, I've kind of like had this sense for a while that, there have been, few fighters out there or available out there for Canelo to fight and for Terence Crawford to fight. And neither of them were against each other, right? You still have the open fights that are available there, 154 pounds for Terence Crawford. You have fights that are available for Canelo Alvarez at 168 and, yes, maybe even 175. But, this is professional boxing, keyword professional. And what that means is, MONEY. So you try to angle for the most lucrative bout possible and see if you could have that be secured, right? So it looks like, what was happening over in London a couple weekends ago when you had Canelo Alvarez out there, you had Terence Crawford out there, among many others, as far as like fighters are concerned. And Turki Al-Sheikh, pretty much like put it out there that he, wanted to make that particular fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. And now it seems like it's getting a little bit closer for that fight to be actually happening. So, hey, more power to him. I mean, that's going to be something there where, like I said, both of those fighters are going to make a significant amount of money for that fight to go ahead and take place. So, with that being said, I'm not sure, how, things will shape out for it. I mean, you've had, Terence Crawford, be preparing himself. Of course, he's always in shape and things like that. But, we've seen him, in certain avenues or being around some people, particularly in Las Vegas over the past couple of weeks. Yes, he was talking with, Eddie Hearn and also with Floyd Mayweather Jr. And, for a time there with Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather Jr., those two are high-level competitors, high-level competitors. And, the thing about it is that if there was like any style that gave Canelo fits, it is, of course, Floyd Mayweather when he was able to defeat Canelo Alvarez, right? But he had rare dimensions for a fighter of his height there for Mayweather Jr. So the fighter with the reach, with the speed, and with the defense. That's what Floyd Mayweather Jr. had. And yes, even with Canelo Alvarez being much younger at the time, there he did have a significant amount of fights up to that particular point, of course, starting his career over in Mexico. So you've seen a style that pretty much overwhelmed Canelo Alvarez and frustrated Canelo Alvarez for the majority of that fight. And that's how Floyd Mayweather was able to win that fight. Yes, you did have another instance with Dimitri Bivol, but Bivol is a guy that has the height, the reach, but also the movement. So you have guys like a Callum Smith or a Sergey Kovalev who couldn't necessarily get the best of Canelo Alvarez, but Dimitri Bivol could because his movement as far as like being able to step in, step back, go laterally side to side, and have good enough defense to get away from Canelo's punches, particularly the counter punches there that Canelo had. So for Terence Crawford, I'm thinking that he may be studying a lot of those encounters that Canelo had with Floyd Mayweather and also with Dimitri Bivol there in that particular instance. And yes, being part of B&B Boxing, he has been around super middleweights, for the majority of his career. You have Lester Martinez that's in the camp. You have, of course, Steven Nelson that's in the camp that, had a fight a couple of weekends ago against Diego Pacheco. So he's battled in there with guys that are around that super middleweight limit as far as like training with them, sparring with them, all that type of thing. So as far as like him, being able to like try to take a punch from a guy that's a super middleweight or someone that, could rehydrate up to what I'd say 175 pounds or 178 or something, Crawford has been, kind of used to that. It's just with Canelo. Canelo is one of the most precise punchers out there in the sport, has been, regarded as a top counterpuncher in boxing and, really doesn't waste punches. He doesn't waste punches. Now for me, I mean, I feel like, when this was initially proposed, I really wasn't much of a fan of the fight because of the styles for both fighters. To have an example, look at Crawford's fight versus Islam Madrimov, right? Madrimov, yeah, he only had like what it was about 10 or 11 fights up to that particular point. But he was a guy that moved a lot, wasn't really active that much in offense, but kept the spacing back from Terence Crawford for a good amount of the fight. And so you had some moments there from Terence Crawford against Madrimov, but nothing to the point where, yeah, he overwhelmed Madrimov. 8-4. It was an 8-4 fight. Definitely an 8-4 type of fight, 9-3 type of fight. But it was something where, you saw how the style of Crawford didn't necessarily mesh well with Madrimov, given that Madrimov moves a lot. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ricardo Lopez in the building. From Chicago, Chi-Town in the building, and everything like that. I'm talking about the whole thing with Canelo and Crawford at Allegiant Stadium. And like I said, I mean the styles are, pretty. I don't necessarily like the styles on paper, for both of them. You have the tail of the tape with Crawford being the older fighter, of course. Canelo having about 65 professional fights, but still Crawford is an older fighter. He has the reach advantage, as I mentioned earlier, because his dimensions are similar to Floyd Mayweather Jr. When Floyd was, there at 147 and 154. Same thing here with Terence Crawford. Is he a precision puncher in Crawford? Yes, he is. It's just that is he going to be able to increase his, general output, punch output in his fight against Canelo Alvarez when Alvarez, was known for being a counterpuncher and can catch and slip because he'll have a guard up, he'll slip, and then he'll, work his hooks in order to, counter. You know what I mean? clear example or good example of that is, Canelo's fight against Jaime Munguia. The first couple of rounds, you had Jaime Munguia that had a pretty good start there against Canelo Alvarez when it came to the punch output and landing a couple punches here and there. But then, what was it? The third round when you had Canelo in the ropes and Jaime Munguia, threw, one or two punches, and then, Canelo just threw a hook, uppercut, and a hook to put down Jaime Munguia there as a response. And then after that, you really didn't see that much as far as like Munguia really giving much of an effort to try to get himself countered again, right? So is the same thing going to happen here with Terence Crawford? I'm not sure about that. What I am fearing though, is I hope it's not similar to Canelo's fight against Jermell Charlo, where Jermell Charlo, coming up as an undisputed champion at 154 pounds, going up against Canelo Alvarez. Yes, the situation was kind of different as Canelo was originally slated to face Jermell Charlo at the time, but you've seen like after about a couple rounds, and then after being knocked down by Canelo with the punch that really, just to be honest, it really didn't, seem like much. After that, you didn't see much of an effort from Charlo until probably the last few rounds. And if you had something like that early here in this potential bout between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, is Crawford going to basically, pack it in? Or is he going to be a competitor and try to go out on the shield, similar to like maybe a Deontay Wilder in his third fight against Tyson Fury, like Deontay Wilder, in that third fight, early when he, scored those knockdowns, he was, back in the fight, but then, still got beat up and beat down. But then you had it to the point where in round 10, even though it seemed like it was all but over, he still gave an effort to say that, hey, I still got a chance. And then ultimately got finished off in the following round. Now, will Terence Crawford have a moment like that where, hey, I'm getting beat up, I'm getting bludgeoned here, I'm, being outclassed by Canelo Alvarez, and, if it gets to late rounds, is he going to still continue to try, or is he going to pack it in? That's the thing that I'm looking for in that front. Now, given that this is, supposed to be under, Riyadh season, they don't necessarily have to worry about the funding, I guess, because, Riyadh season, Turkey Al Sheikh under, the Saudi Athletic Department or whatever it's called, right, has been able to provide a generous amount of money for a number of the fighters that have been participating under Riyadh season events, which include like with Terence Crawford in his fight against Islam Madrimov. So here in this bout, I guess they're saying that Canelo could get a huge amount of money, and that Crawford could get a huge amount of money, for this particular fight. And it's something to the point where, hey, since it's an event, they feel like they'll be able to get proper returns for this event. That's the thing that remains to be seen here, or that is like a major question, at least for me, is this going to provide the returns that they are looking for an event of that magnitude, especially if it's going to be at Allegiant Stadium. Like I said, to have a boxing event there at Allegiant Stadium is crazy. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes in reference to that front. Let me see something here. I'm trying to also link in a couple of folks to try to chime in on it. I'm not sure if I'll open up the phone lines here for the midweek report, but if so, I want to hear your thoughts about this potential bout between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Hey, my guy here, Ringwalk Boxing Podcast says, great point. Crawford will probably stay elusive, use his switch hitting style, and take the blueprint from Bivol tag and box him all night long. I mean, he could try that. Yeah, he could try that. The thing about it is that, with Bivol, the other key was the height of Bivol that had him be able to, have his distance to keep himself back from the Canelo's counterpuncher. Will Crawford be able to have that there? I mean, it could be possible because I named a couple of fighters that Crawford works with over at B&B Boxing Academy, but you know that there's like another fighter that has been around Terence Crawford for some time there that is known for moving a lot, and that is Shakur Stevenson, or as I say, as Shakur and Afi Saeed Stevenson, right? He has, of course, the ability to pretty much gauge the distance against his opponent and pretty much step in, step back, step off to the side, keep his lead hand, out there to, properly keep his opponent away. Now, will Crawford do that, especially in the first few rounds of this particular bout? It remains to be seen. The other thing, too, is we're going to have a matchup of two well-known trainers. One, as I mentioned some time back, is the two-time Boxing Source Coach of the Year in Brian Bomac McIntyre. And on the other side, you do have past winners of Coach of the Year in Eddie Reynoso. Of course, the thing with Eddie Reynoso, for some people they say, hey, Canelo, yeah, he's done great with Canelo. But a number of the other guys that he's had under his camp, Andy Ruiz, Oscar Valdez. Hey, Valdez is 2-division champ, but against Shakur Stevenson, against Emmanuel Navarrete, who else has he had on there? Ryan Garcia. It looks like he might be back with Ryan Garcia. So that's something. They say, also he could potentially have Teofimo Lopez. So hey, you don't know. Meanwhile, Boxing Podcast says, is it true Floyd Mayweather Jr. is training Bud for Canelo, or is it cap? Hey, listen, I mean, I give a lot of credit to Terence Crawford. He's, y'all know, he's a hell of a fighter. But listen, I do what I do. He do what he do. And he'll do the do against Canelo. Or whatever it is, man, right? But I don't think that he's, kind of like training them because of the team that Bud Crawford has, like I mentioned. You have Coach Brian Bomac McIntyre. You have, Esau Dieguez. You have Red Spikes. You have, Bernie the Boxer that's out there. I saw Bernie the Boxer out in the Top Rank gym last week. But that whole team is pretty much had the blueprint for Terence Crawford since he started his professional career. So, that's the thing about it. Shout out to Coda Kid on there. Says impression on point. My thing is, listen, Coda Kid. My thing is this. You see, I was able to beat all of these guys. Look at them. They're in the Hall of Fame. Oscar's in the Hall of Fame. Shane is in the Hall of Fame. Miguel Cotto is in the Hall of Fame. You know what? And guess what? I cooked those dudes. All right, and so yeah, so that's the thing about that with Floyd Mayweather Jr. But I do feel like there's something where maybe they have had some type of contact in reference to this fight with Canelo and Crawford to a certain extent. And they've been hanging around each other for a while now. I mean, y'all seen them, when it was when Shakur Stevenson fought Edwin De Los Santos. You had Stevenson, you had Crawford, you had Floyd, you had Andre Ward, all there. So they've been around each other for some time. It's just have they been, working out with each other or whatever it is, that remains to be seen. Only those on the inside will probably say something. And I don't even think they would say something. They would probably hint at it, but they wouldn't fully say something in reference to if Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford are working together on that front. So, that's the thing on that. And as far as like Canelo and what he could potentially do in May, if he's going to do something in May, I mean that remains to be seen. I know that there's been a few things about him potentially fighting William Skull or even a Jake Paul, and I'm like, why, why? You know, Jake Paul, unless they had like something where it's an exorbitant amount of money for both parties, I don't see why that particular fight would take place. And the thing with William Skull is, what's the point of fighting William Skull now when you didn't fight William Skull back in September? You ended up giving up the IBF title to go ahead and face Edgar Berlanga in September. So you mean to tell me that you would give up that belt and then turn right around in the next fight to fight William Skull? Hey, listen, if they want to go ahead and have that IBF belt, let them have the IBF belt. That's less money for the IBF. That's pretty much what I say. Less money for the IBF. It ain't like he ain't what was it, vacated the IBF belt before. He's done that in the other divisions on his way up to super middleweight. So this shouldn't be much different. So for me to see if he is potentially fighting William Skull, nah. You might as well just go ahead and chill out, up until the point where you're going to, face the Terence Crawford in September and just, get ready for that, because who knows, what would happen on that particular front if he does fight in May. You know what I mean? All right, right now, have a great guest that's coming up here on the queue. Here, of course, he is the host of Brunch Boxing. I was hoping that he would be available on Monday, but I think he was asleep. But it's our guy, brother Matt, is in the building. What's going on, Matt?
Oh, you are correct. I was knocked out on Monday. No, listen, because first of all, I stayed up late to watch Clarissa Shields become the first ever undisputed women's heavyweight champion, and then I held like a post show and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
I was just tired, man. Listen, I'm getting old. I can't stay up like I used to, man. Like honestly, it's close to my bedtime right now, to be honest with
Hey, to be honest with you, I done probably went to took a nap about twice today.
you. Yeah, I'm trying to take
Oh.
less naps. I'm trying to be more productive.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just stay up throughout the day, do what I gotta do, and then so where we go to bed, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm telling you, once you hit that four, once that number four hits the hits that first part of your age, you gonna see that. Hey, it's tough, man. It's tough. But you'll have the main topic of the day. You got this thing here in reference to Canelo and Terence Bud Crawford. That could potentially be in Allegiant Stadium. Any thoughts on this particular bout, and if they would try to pull off a bout in Allegiant Stadium?
When you say it's gonna be in Allegiant Stadium, what's the date on that? I'm curious.
Uh, I mean, because the thing is, some people were trying to drop the date of September 13th, and I'm like, wait, because like I was mentioning before, you have that being the home for the Las Vegas Raiders, right? And they pretty much like had college football games there, on multiple instances. So September 13th, I would have to be like, okay, is that open for Allegiant Stadium at that time? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you it's not because UNLV plays Idaho State that day, so it definitely won't be September 13th if it happens. To
Hmm.
be honest with you, I think that the reason why that came out from Ring is because Turkey Al-Sheikh is trying to exert pressure on Canelo Alvarez to accept whatever offer he's given him. So the thing is, I'm not sure if you read the article from Ring, because remember, Ring is the one that quote unquote broke the news that is happening in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. It's finalized, but I want you to go to the Ring magazine website, and I would like you to see who is the author of that article. and the offer says ring staff. Who's ring staff? I don't know nobody named ring staff.
Oh,
So to
so
me, what that says is that you know that you're full of shit and you don't want to attach your name to it. Basically, all these scoops coming out of ring are just stuff that Turkey are telling them to repeat. It's actually sad to see because they do have a lot of pretty good boxing journalists over there,
mhm.
but now I feel like they're kind of using the website to negotiate in the press. And
Yeah.
I don't really like that. I'm not sure if Canelo versus Crawford happens. I know it won't be on the 13th. If it does happen, it'll probably be the third week of September, which is where T-Mobile and Allegiant Stadium are free. But I'm just taking a wait and see approach. I'm not gonna even try to picture that the fight is happening until we hear from Canelo.
Yeah, and you talked about it in reference to the Ring magazine and saying a Ring magazine staff. I mean that's not much different than boxing scene where it says boxing scene staff there when they put out a few things here and there when it comes to
You
potential
know,
matchups or potential
it's
news.
funny. It's funny that you say that. The guy who used to run boxing scene with that boxing scene staff bullshit, Rick Reno, is now the guy who was running the digital version of Ring magazine. So he brought that same bullshit from boxing scene over to Ring, which I think truly does a disservice to the reporters there because like someone like me, I'm going to be wondering, oh, I wonder who really wrote that and didn't want to attach their name to it. You're kind of putting all your reporters in a bad position when really I bet you it was probably him or Benson that wrote it. It was probably him or Benson.
Yeah. And yeah, real quick, I mean, I went on to the thing there for StubHub, and it is the Idaho State Bengals at the UNLV Rebels on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium. But why in the world would they have UNLV playing Idaho State at
Listen, listen,
Allegiant Stadium?
listen. They need that win. They need those wins, man.
Yeah, I guess they do. I guess they do. But it's something right there, man. I got another guest here that's ready to join us here to talk about this particular topic, and maybe just maybe we might revisit a topic here later on down the line. It's our guy, the esteemed boxing academic, is in the building. What's happening? Yo, academic, what up?
How you doing, MVO?
Uh, I think MVO is retired, if I'm not mistaken.
Sticky didn't even respond to me. I feel so disrespected. I'm sorry, man. I won't call you MVO again, man. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
And I honestly, I don't know who MVO is. I don't know who he was talking to there. But I gotta tell you. So I listened back to the episode of Brunch Boxing that you were on, Mike, and I have made the executive decision that I will no longer call you the boxing academic. I'm just gonna call you Mike.
Oh no.
Which episode are you talking about?
I'm talking about the episode where you were trying to figure out why the Saudi tickets were 26.67,
Oh, the
and
conversion.
also and also and also when you were going with your conspiracy theory that they sped up the count the anyway, and the fight might have been fixed. Yeah,
Did I say they sped up the count or did I say he stopped
yes.
the count?
No. You said he skipped numbers. That's what you said. So yeah, he sped up the count. You said the
So,
man skipped numbers.
JR,
Yo.
when you watched the count, what did you see
Oh
in
man.
the weight fight?
Oh, what I said. 1, 2, 5, 6, 9.
So here's the
Oh,
thing. Here,
oh,
listen.
is that right? So you
Here's
saw exactly what I saw.
no. Here's what Mike did to you, right? He poisoned your brain, right? And he's telling you, hey, look, this is this, and you're looking for that. So of course you're going to see the same thing. What he should have did was just tell you, hey, watch this video and tell me what you see. The fact that he poisoned your brain first subconsciously made you feel like you saw something that wasn't there.
Oh man. Oh my
So
goodness.
you're saying James is highly suggestible? That's what you're trying to say.
What I'm saying, listen. What I'm saying is that you are very convincing because why would Jr. think that you're crazy enough to think that this fight was fixed or the refs skipped the count or Ye Jun Kim said, "Hey, come on, hit me. Let's close the show." Like, come
Oh,
on,
that now that part. Yeah,
come
no,
on. That was hey. Listen, you know what's funny? David Benavidez did the same thing to David Morrell, and I was like, David, don't you do that? You so happy to Ye Jun Kim. Don't you do that?
Oh man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be crazy. That'd be crazy. Shout out Coda
Did
Kid.
you watch the video though, Matt? That's the real question. Did you watch the video?
Oh man.
Dude. I didn't have to watch the video. I saw it live, man. Listen, I'm not turning a fight that was a nothing fight into the Who Shot JFK Zapruder film. Okay.
So you're telling me you watched it live and you didn't see it live. So everything that you're basing your opinion off of now is because you saw it live and you didn't see it live. Meaning that
Well,
there's not been a fight that you haven't had to go
look,
back and look at it
listen.
again
So
to
so here's the
confirm what you
thing.
think you saw.
So here's the thing, right? You had reposted it, and I watched it again after you reposted it, and I still didn't see it. What I saw was the timekeeper in the white shirt in the crowd. He was doing the count. The referee picked up the count from him, and the
Mhm.
referee waved off the fight when he felt that Kim could not continue. I did not see any shenanigans, so I don't know what it is you were looking for with that particular fight.
Hey yo, real quick, man. I got a great guest on here with me that's ready to chop it up, man. I wanted to, invite him on here to the midweek report because he definitely has a lot to say on what's going on in his particular division there, 122 and 126. We've had him on here for a few times, and this is pretty much a simulcast because we are not only on YouTube and on Rumble, but we also are on IG Live. So I wanted to bring on the Wolf back here with us. It is Elijah Pierce. What's happening? Doing all right. Just seeing what's happening with you there, man. Like I said, you had a few things that you were saying in reference to what's been going down, man. We've had a lot of activity at 122 and 126, and you had the thing there with like I said, with Stephen Fulton as well. So you wanted to see if you had some things in reference to what you want to say in reference to that. Hold up, shoot. I mean, he might be on something there, so I'm gonna see if I could try something else here because he's on the move here real quick. So what I might do is I might provide him an alternative here real quick to see if he could go ahead and reconnect. So what I'm going to do is I will send something else out here for him to see if he could join through this link or whatnot. And see how that goes. And see if that'll work also. Because the thing is that the thing didn't necessarily work here for his IG. So I'm gonna see here if he could join on under that front. But going to what you're saying there, Matt. I mean, come on, man. Y'all saw the guy outside the ring counting. Now, I ain't saying that the whole thing was fixed in reference to Ye Jun Kim, right? But come on, you had to see that referee and everything like that, man.
The referee looked up and was like, "Wait, what?" When he was counting, he was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. So that's the thing on that, man. So I'm trying to see here if I could get Elijah to join back in or something like that. I might have to do a take two on the Instagram front and see if that'll work because it looks like he's basically stuck on one end. So let me see if I could just go ahead and revisit. But I did send him a alternate link there for him to join, see if he could join on this particular front. So I'm waiting for him to see if he could do that there.
Matt, I was looking for your guy at the fight so I can buy one of y'all shirts.
Oh, Mike.
Wait, are you trolling me now? What are we doing here?
I'll never wear the shirt out in public, but I wear it in the house.
No. Well, listen, if you want to purchase a shirt, just let me know. Send me your mailing address, and we will get it shipped out to you.
I wanted to buy it live, Matt. That was the whole thing, to be like I supported you live.
You can always buy a shirt. I would always appreciate the support, and we will be sure to give you a shout out for getting a shirt. So, we can rap about that. But let's get back to boxing. Okay.
Hmm.
Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. First of all, JR, do you think this fight is really gonna happen?
I don't want it to happen. You know that I don't want it to happen. Um, I'm leaning towards like 40% that it does.
Wait, you said you don't want it to happen. Why would you not want this fight to happen?
Man, I've said this from a while that I felt like, and I said this earlier here on the Midweek Report. I said that there have been a couple other fights that are available for both fighters that they could go ahead and take instead of this particular fight. So for these two to go ahead and potentially get in the ring, I'm like, I'm not necessarily favorable towards that fight. All right, let's see here if we could try this other joint here too and see if this works, because we got a guest here that hit up the StreamYard link. So if we got him on. Yo, what's going on, Wolf? Elijah Pierce in the building. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, I don't know what happened with the other joint. It just cut off, and then it wouldn't let me send a request back in or whatever. But yeah, man, everything is good, bro. Just training and taking it one day at a time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, in the last live or conversation that you had plans to get back in the ring sometime this month, but we had a thing there where you had a little bit of a setback, so it's kind of been pushed back here for a couple months, correct?
You said what now?
That you had originally you were scheduled to try to get in a fight this month, February. But that had been pushed back a little bit. So is there like any update on that?
Oh, yeah, you had cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
Or it's like been off and on?
Yeah,
No,
like
I was
So
saying.
so
your yeah,
so
like your
so
screen
basically
had went
basically what
in
he's
in and
asking
out or
you
something.
is when are you getting back in the ring? Because we know we were supposed to fight in February, it got pushed back. So when are we gonna see you again back in the ring?
Oh, April. Well, that's what I was told. April. I mean, over time they're gonna have their inaugural show of this year in March for the kid they just signed, the amateur. I forget his name.
Yeah,
Something
for
Malo, Julius.
Julius Milo, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever. They're having their inaugural show centered around him, and then I'll headline the show after that in April. So. Yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to this year because I mean I'm really it's just all about business for me this year. I've been deserving of the top fights. I've been getting annoyed because it's like obviously and frustrated myself because I've been buying for the top fights. I've been ready
Yeah.
for the top fights. A lot of people you know, talk shit because they say I haven't fought the top fights. I've done nothing but call out top fighters over and over and over. I mean, I can't make people get in the ring with me. I've been ducked by these same top fighters several times. So it's like I don't really know what else I can do. Only thing I can do is just be patient and wait my turn, and continue to beat whoever's put in front of me. You know what I'm saying? It's really that simple. So, 25, that's just my goal. I finally moved up. I was having it's just funny, man, because I was having weight issues or whatever my last two fights, and I realistically probably fought the guys off like 50% effort, like no bullshit, and that's me being just honest, and kind of I'm kind of giving you like a exclusive with that, like I fought the guys on like 50%, 50%. I was injured and everything. But I don't make excuses. I needed to. I gotta provide for my kids, my family. So I still fought anyway, and I still knocking motherfuckers out. So it just be funny, like when people make the little comments, whatever the case may be. So I let it rock because at the end of the day, when I get in the ring with the top guys, and obviously the main guy I want is Fulton, have you seen? I'm going to knock him the fuck out. And when it happens, all I'm gonna do is just sit back and just laugh and just look at how the public reacts and how they try to sympathize or act like Fulton was no good, or then how Inoue destroyed him and he's no longer good. It's always gonna be something because all of a sudden now that he beat Figueroa. Now he's back. Oh, at first he was ass. Fulton was nothing. Whatever. When Inoue knocked him out, now that he didn't beat Figueroa, now it's he's rejuvenated. He's back. He just had to come back, go up another weight class, blah blah blah, all that BS. And that's really the furthest thing from the truth. To be honest, Figueroa just had a bad. I don't know what was going on with him, but he just looked terrible. He just had a bad night, and so it really had nothing to do with Fulton doing anything. He did what he was supposed to do. I'll credit him for that. He won the fight and did what he was supposed to do. But it had nothing to do with him doing anything extra. Like he was just magnificent or he was out of the box extraordinary in the fight. It was more so that Figueroa wasn't himself or he didn't fight like he did previously. But like I said, it'll all be proven. That's just really where my head is, simple and plain, is to beat the shit out of whoever they put in front of me, so I can get the big fights. Because I'm deserving of the big fights, and I'm deserving of the money that comes along with it.
Now, you were talking about, going into the bouts against Mike Plania, Archer Villanueva, and, Jose San Martin, and, like you said, dealing with the injuries, dealing with the things with the weight. But despite that, you were still, able to get those wins and build yourself up to, as high as number 3 in the WBA or number 4 in the WBO. But as you just mentioned, you're trying to get those fights to get like one step closer to a world title shot, and they never, stepped up and said yes. Of course, many times in our conversations, you talk about Sam Goodman, and well, we've seen what happened with him over the past couple months and everything like that. So, I feel like he lost out on the whole thing there with anyway, as far as I'm concerned. But now, here you are, you're saying you're going to be going up to 126 and campaigning at 126. So I guess that's the plan, is to try to get in the mix with those guys at 126, the Stephen Fultons, the Brendan Figueroas, or the Shushu Carringtons, or whatever it is.
I mean, yeah, I will literally take any and everybody. I don't give a fuck about nobody in particular. The only one I know for sure that I want to fight is Stephen Fulton because me and him obviously got beef. We got smoked. And like I said, I mean, even if he would have lost to Figueroa, that's the funny part. People don't even know. Even if he had lost, I still would be calling him out the exact same way. I would still be like, Fulton, I'm gonna fuck you up, like, because I don't like him. He did himself a disservice and kind of brought all of this on himself because he's very sensitive and he's effeminate. It's like every time, even with the Tank situation, anytime I've ever been nice in this game, I've tried to be respectful. I've tried to, respect my contemporaries and all that type of shit. Anytime I've ever been on that type of time, it's always ended badly for me. Like it's always come back as a negative. People start beefing me and all this other type of shit. Even with Tank, I had never disrespected Tank. I mean, I was, even when we sparred, we shook up, it was cool, all that. And then, like I said, he posted him knocking out my sparring partner. So I posted my clip of him, of me getting off on him. That fair play, right? No, nigga, you gonna post a clip of me and get all mad and shit, and start try to because people would believe it, post a clip of me. I mean, of my sparring partner, and then trying to say it was me. And then obviously people gonna believe the shit because it's him, And then people who are smart enough to see how the fuck I'm gonna be wearing the different clothing in the same sparring or whatever. But like I said, so it was no different than with Fulton. Like I said, I even said in the interview I did with Ellie Seckback, I said that how I respected him and all that. And he asked me how would another fight with him in Inoue go. I said I think the same thing happens. He doesn't do well with power punchers. And I said that he asked me how it would go with me. I said, well, he would respect me. I'm not Stephen Fulton, and I meant that in terms of power because everybody knows I got fucking power. My 16 knockouts out of my 20 fights speaks for itself. And I've been knocking out guys from 35 pounds down to 122. So if I don't got like that should speak for itself. And I've never just fought tomato cans, even though motherfuckers keep trying to put that narrative like I've only fought tomato cans. That's bullshit. Because you don't get to be number 4 or 5 in the world fighting tomato cans. And it ain't like I'm with a major promoter, right? I'm with Overtime. So how else am I gonna get to 4 or 5 in the world?
Yep.
So it's like people just gotta make it make sense. It's like if motherfuckers want to talk bullshit, make the bullshit plausible. Make it actually make some sense. You know what I'm saying? Or have some relevance, not just spewing hatred or whatever, just because you want to suck your favorite fighter's dick or whatever the case may be. That stuff is what kind of annoys me. And honestly, all it does is just really just make it that much worse for my opponents. Because when I get in there with my opponents, that's really what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about making sure I beat your ass. So, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing to think about after that. There's nothing where you can try to justify or, make an excuse as to why they lost. No, you got your ass whooped. I told you that was gonna happen. I told you I was gonna knock you out. I told you you couldn't deal with me. So I mean, just simple and plain as that. That's just really where my head at and what's going to happen whenever I face any of these top 10 guys. And the only person I have any type of I will fight him. Of course, we've already talked about it. Bruce Carrington, that's my boy. Like that's my actual me and him. We actually have a personal relationship. Like that's my dog. But we've already spoken about fighting. Cause me and him, we went 1-1 at the Olympic trials. So we have a story. You know what I'm saying? So we don't mind facing each other. We just want to face each other when it counts the most. We can fight for a title or something like that. Cool. You know what I'm saying? But we don't. It's not like we don't mind facing each other. But it's like, would I rather have to go through him to get to Fulton or to get to a top fight? It's like, nah. Why would I want to choose that way? And he feels the same way. He wouldn't want to. I bet you right now, if he got offered to fight me to face Fulton or whatever, he wouldn't really want to, but if he had to, he would. Just like this, it's the same with me. If I got to, I will, but I wouldn't want to. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's just what it is, man. And like I said, so any of the other guys who are available, I'll take them. If it's Figueroa, they can give me Figueroa. If Figueroa fights me like he just did Fulton, and I actually like Figueroa, but if he fights me like he just did Fulton, I will fucking stop Figueroa, and I put that on Jesus himself. Like that's just, I mean, that everybody in boxing knows Fulton has no power. Like everybody knows that. Like we can't act like that's a secret. And even one of my homeboys who knows Fulton very well, trying to tell me, Fulton's gonna punch harder at 26. You're either born or blessed with power, or you're not. Fulton can't punch. He can box well, yes. I will never take that away. I always give credit when credit is due. But he cannot punch. I can punch. Like I said, my 16 knockouts and 20 fights speak for themselves. Look at the guys who I have knocked out. So it just goes from there. And even the 2 losses, lastly, that I have were permitted through outside stuff. Like I said, I mean, well, I can't really say the first one. The first one, I just fought a big ass dude. So I was fighting out of my class. I should have been fighting 118 in 2018, but yet I was fighting 130. You know what I'm saying? And then the second one was personal issues. So
yeah. You told me that there in our first conversations in reference to what happened in those particular situations, and so you're like, hey, you know what? I've gone through that. I built myself back up, and now I'm at a point where I need to have those big fights. I need to have it where I can show the world how good I am in my particular division, whether it's at 122 or at 126. But also you mentioned there that you were knocking out guys there at higher weight classes when you started your career. You were about 135 or 137 there in those first few fights. So you've been able to bounce around from the division to division up to this particular point of your career.
Yeah, like I said, that's just because of me being unknowledgeable. It was literally just me and my father. We come from Oklahoma. We didn't know, we didn't know shit. That's it. So this whole time has been a learning experience for me. The whole thing. So that's why it just be so funny how people be so critical of everything, especially my record, all that. It's like, okay, keep talking, but like I said, the paper it doesn't lie. Like me making it to where I made it is because I've been beating motherfuckers' asses, and I will continue to do so. Just put them in front of me. It's like that simple. Like it's like if I'm such an easy win, if I'm so trash I ain't fought nobody, this and that. Why come nobody is ever wanting to fight me then? It's like make it make sense.
Yeah.
I don't get this shit. It's like I don't even people really fix their fucking mouths to say what they say, and it's like, okay, well then fight me. If I'm not this, I'm not that, fight me. Show me I'm not that. And it's that simple. Like, but no, nobody has ever. No, a lot of these top guys haven't been up to the challenge. Robeisy Ramirez, he ducked me twice. No, really 3 times. This is factual information I'm giving you right now. It's exclusive factual information. Robeisy Ramirez ducked me 3 times. I was supposed to be the one to fight him, and not Espinoza. I was supposed to fight him. He had I'm not just gonna say he had a choice to pick between me or Espinoza. That's facts. He had a choice, me or Espinoza. He chose Espinoza, and I'm guessing he chose Espinoza because he thought because he was Mexican that he was gonna sit there and he was gonna be able to just outbox him and beat him up, and that obviously didn't happen, and he still lost.
Mm-hmm.
MJ Akhmadaliev or whatever the fuck, he ducked me clearly, and which made sense. Everybody knows he's been begging for an Inoue fight, begging. So he pretty much put himself in position, and I can't really fault him too much because I mean it was smart business. I'll give him that. It was business, but it was still a duck at the end of the day. Instead of fighting number 3 in the WBA, you went all the way down to number 14 to fight for that WBA interim title. That's the truth. I literally was I was trying to fucking DM Eddie, Frank Smith, everybody. I had my manager calling them. Like I was trying to get that fight, and they told me that it was very possible I could get the fight, but obviously it didn't. He chose number 14 instead of number 3. So it's just like, once again, just a lot of this stuff, man. Like I said, it just be smoke and mirrors. People gonna talk. I get that. People gonna think what they want to think. That's not for me to even concern myself with. Sometimes I call people out on their bullshit just to do it because I'm just a shit talker, so I like to talk my shit. But
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's not for me to really to concern myself with. But facts is facts. You can't dispute the facts. And the facts is I'm one of the most avoided fighters in boxing. And as much as many people want to fret, cry, complain, fake like it ain't true, it's the fucking truth. And like I said, I've had numerous opportunities to fight these top guys. I mean, whereas the fights were presented to me and I took them right away, and they never choose to fight me for some reason. But I'm so trash and I'm so this and that and the third. But nobody's ever wanted to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying there, reference to like the Seb Goodmans or the Ramirez's or MJ Akhmadalievs, like they, were out there and they could have, stepped up and had a fight with you, but they ended up, going a different direction or saying no, basically there. So, that's the thing about it. Like you said, it's a tough situation when you're at a certain spot, in the rankings, particularly here at 122. Where you're just about 1 or 2 steps away, from being up there to potentially fight for a world title. But the guys that are, around your, spot in the rankings or above this, where you're at in the rankings, don't, are not interested in fighting you.
That simple. I mean, like I said, I can't make my contemporaries want to jump in the ring with me, and it's evident that they don't. Like I said, they can, they all most of the time they always play the whole fucking clout card, and that it pisses me off because, like I said, because it's social media, people they're able to really hide behind social media. Just because obviously if a fan base doesn't know me, and a lot of these fans are not true fans. They're not true students of the sport. They truly not supporters of the sport. They're just like Jake Paul motherfuckers who got into boxing late or will start watching boxing. Oh, he's good because he knocked him out and he it's no particulars or no story. Nothing that really resonates with them. They just going off of what they see.
Mm.
So bottom line. Bottom
Yeah,
line, that's what what we got to deal with today. So since that's the case, all these fighters got to do is play that card, which is what Fulton's keeps doing. Keeps trying to act like he's so great, so much, just so big when he just got knocked the fuck out by anyway. That made no sense to me. I was like, how are you so Hollywood, like you just so above me, above fighting me when you just got your ass laid the fuck out. Now me, yes, I do have 2 losses. Ain't nobody ever knocked me out though. And I didn't, like I said, even when I fucking fought basically a 35 pounder at 118. And it's like, this is facts. Go look it up for yourself. I literally weighed in 127 in a 130 fight. In 2018, I could have definitely made 118. Or maybe I probably could even make 115 probably. Had I known the information. I didn't know motherfuckers was dropping 20, 25 pounds and shit to make weight. I did not know that at all. If I had that information, we'd be having a totally different discussion right now. That's just the bottom line too.
yeah. That fight was against Giovanni Cabrera there in 2018, and like you said, you were there around that 127 range there in that particular fight, and you also had a fight against Suleiman Sagawa there around that same weight class, but around like 125 there, and that one was a close fight in itself too.
Yeah, dude, and the crazy part with that, I fought the motherfucker on 2 weeks of training. Now, I can't make no excuses for that. End of the day, it was 2 weeks of training. I was going through a divorce, and I was mentally fucked up. It was what it was. So it was just a learning lesson. And once again, it's just a testament of being unknowledgeable. I was told I couldn't even pull out the fight. I was told that if I pulled out the fight, I would be suspended for a year. That's literally what I was told.
Mm.
So I fucking fought with 2 weeks of training, and the rest of the camp I was sick. So imagine being sick, like literally I had the flu, and then right after I got over the flu, I got the pink eye. I literally had the fucking pink eye. So right, those two back to back, and then I'm going through a divorce that whole time as well, with the
Mm.
whole that stuff, emotional, all that type of stuff. So I was in no condition to fight. Even my own mother was pissed. She was like, "Why are y'all fighting? Why? Like that is the dumbest shit in the world. Like, cause I had just got signed at Lou DiBella, everything was looking up. There was no reason for me to take that fight, but you know, the circumstances permitted otherwise, and we end up fucking doing it. And then, especially once I was told I couldn't get out of the fight,
Mm.
so like I said, just learning lessons, man. It's been growing pains after growing pains after growing pains, and I've had to go through it all. And it's only gonna add to the story when I do become champion, because it's going to happen. I'm not. I'm. I've grown and I've taken the steps and I've done everything possible to clear my way, clear my path of all distractions, all that type of shit. So only thing I can do now, man, is just stay consistent, and you know things will fall in line eventually. But the re you know only thing I do is continue to talk my shit and promote
Mhm.
myself to the best of my ability, because ain't nobody else gonna do it. Because actually, I mean, it just depends. Because right now, I mean, my promoters or whatever. I mean, it's right now. I just got to be. It's just a patient waiting game right
Playing
now. I
game.
just got to
Yeah,
be
that's
patient.
it. It's
pretty
waiting
much.
game on that front. You know, like you were talking about as far as like the setbacks that you had and everything that led up to that. But now you have like everything in order. All the ducks in a row. You talk about your management team, having your family as part of your management team, and things like that. So that's how you're able to have like the winning streak. Ever since that second loss there to Sagawa there. Real quick, Matt, think you may have a question here for Elijah Pierce. If he's on
Yeah.
here.
So you were talking about your promotional situation. Obviously, we know that you're with OTX. Do you feel like they're going to be able to get you the fights that you need, or do you need to like maybe get with a bigger promoter? Well, they're really an upstart because they ain't really come out till 2023. But do you feel like you're with the right team to get you the fights that you need going forward?
Well, I mean, right now I'm with Overtime, and I'm co-promoted between Overtime and a subsidiary of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, Viva Promotions, which is basically like I said, is a subsidiary of Sean
That's
Gibbons.
Knucklehead. That's Knucklehead's brother, right?
Yeah, Knucklehead.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Okay.
So I'm co-promoted with them. So right, we're they have a great relationship with PBC. So obviously, only time will tell. But I have some other opportunities possibly in the works. I can't really speak too much on that right now, but um I don't know, man. Only thing right now that I can do is my job, and my job is to be prepared and ready for anybody who steps in that ring with me, and that's it, man. So I've it's clear if anybody checks my social media and sees anything, I've always been actively calling these guys out. I've always been actively trying to get the big fights. They don't want to fight me. And there's a clear-cut fucking reason why they don't want to fight me. I am the one. I'm going to be champion. I am one of the most feared fucking fighters in the smaller division. In 122, 126, people can act like they don't. All these guys who these people love so much and they glorify, they know me. Now they might not act. They might try to fake the funk and act and speak low with me, act like I ain't. Oh, he trash. He ain't this. That okay. But those are them same guys who were in the amateurs kissing my ass. Oh, bro, you the truth. You nice and like all that type of shit. Like I said, the pros is a different game. It's a different animal. We all know that. So because it's more competitive. We're all fighting for money. We're all trying to be in the spotlight. We're all trying to gain. Blah blah blah. So that's just what it is, man. So like I said, motherfuckers can be faking, but they know who I am, and those who I'm actually cool with, they all give me the respect that I've earned. Like I said, Bruce Carrington is one of those people. There's a video I have on my page of him literally talking about me in an interview. He talks about me and him going 1-1 at the Olympic trials. You know what I'm saying? Me and him, like he's very understanding of who I am, and I'm understanding of who he is. You know what I'm saying? He knows I'm a problem, just like I know he's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these other guys, they definitely know I'm a fucking problem. Just because they might not voice it to the masses, they know. That's why every time my name is come up in conversation to fight, it's crickets.
Yep. Yep. Now, I wanted to like revisit the thing there that you were saying in reference to um, Stephen Fulton. I think I got this thing pulled up here for what you have on X. Let me see if I got it there. Yeah, it says there. People keep telling me to leave Fulton alone. He just won his title. He said, "Hey man, fuck that boy. He gets no grace. I'm hunting him." And you said, like you said before, when you knock him out, watch the same goofy fans flip on him again. You said you see him watching there, and as you should, but you said, hey, you want that fight bad, and you're gonna shock the world because you're looking at trying to see if you could get him by the end of the year.
Absolutely. Like people were, like I said, they really don't understand how bad I want that fucking fight so bad. Like I probably want that fight more than any other fight this year. Like honestly, like I want that fight bad. And it's crazy because, like I said, people will try to assume it's because of money. Man, honestly, It's really not. They could give me. Well, what's a minimum amount? It probably, let's say they even gave me 100,000, and really the fight is worth more than 100,000. I would take 100,000 for that fight and be okay. Like I know I would knock him the fuck out. I know it.
You said, hey, 100,000. If it takes like 100,000, and if WBC take 3%, don't matter. Like you going in there and you going like you said, take care of business and become the new WBC champion if you were able to secure that fight.
That's simple, bro. Like I said, I would do that man so dirty. Like I said, he. Like I said, this game is to be sold, not told. So, like I said, people can smell the bullshit all they want to, like it's rosemary, and it's not that. You know what I'm saying? They can be fooled, and I'm actually in this game. I see through it all. I know what's going on behind the scenes. I will fuck that dude up, bad. I guarantee it will be a competitive fight up until the later rounds. As soon as the later rounds hit, and I start punching the shit out of him, he's going to fall. We've already seen it with small ass anyway. Dude, you got knocked out by a fucking 5'4" Asian. No racial, none of that. I'm just saying, but like this, you did. You got beat up and knocked out by a small dude. And people, it's funny because people like they'll try to attribute, oh, well, he'd knock you out even that much faster. Okay, sure. I had and the crazy part was I was fucking super upset because I had the opportunity to possibly to face Inoue this year, but it probably would have, because he's supposed to fight in December in Saudi Arabia. And I was contention for that fight. It was very, very possible, and I was told I could possibly get it, and I wanted to really bad. I was thinking of all. I was going through so many different conversations with my team, trying to figure out how I could do it, but I can't make the weight no more. I can't. I'm not gonna even put my body through that and at be at a lesser version of myself when I've already been fighting 50% my last two fights.
Yeah.
I spar middleweights. So thinking about that, I'm a 122 pounder. I spar middleweights. I've never been hurt by a middleweight. Why the hell? Why else would you think that one little 1-2 by a little ass Arthur Villanueva would have hurt me or dropped me? Can you logically assess that in your head? Why do you think that happened?
No, my joint is, man, balance issue. That's my thing about it. Because what happened after that?
No, it wasn't even a balance issue. I mean, well, to an extent it was, but it wasn't really so much the balance issue. The reason was because I was having weight problems. Had weight problems. If you redo the research, and you have weight problems, it does weaken your chin a little bit. It does. But regardless, took the shot. Like I said, I wasn't even disoriented from the shot. That's why I was still slipping punches as I was moving. It was my legs. The shot took away my legs for a second. I said, whoa. I made my legs a little wobble a little bit. I couldn't feel my legs, but I was very consciously there. That's why I was still slipping. And then I tripped over my foot when he hit me to the side. But, regardless, because he hit me, they still counted it as a knockdown. But really, I tripped over my feet as I was trying to evade. So I got up, I collected myself the rest of that round, and then I got up and fucking stopped him. Once I regained composure, I literally would change my whole mindset. Oh, fuck this boxing shit. I'm about to go ahead and get this boy up out of there. He fucked up. I mean, I was embarrassed. Okay, all right, you think, okay, nah, it ain't finna go like that. All right, switch the gear, put that shit on him, start hitting angles on him, and then boom, it was over. It's like people with actual knowledge of boxing IQ can assess these things. People who just fucking watch boxing as if it's golf or fucking like it's MTV. they're not able to compute these things. They don't know what's going on. They just talking. They just see some shit. Oh, he got dropped. He's trash. Oh, that's just the game we live in, bro. And I gotta, I'm accepting of it. That's why I just can't wait. When I get my chance, the world gonna see. And when they kissing my feet, at the end of the day, I'm gonna just sit back and I'm gonna laugh, and I'm gonna just enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Now you were talking about that part there within the Villanueva fight and whatnot, and like you said, if you are trying to get your weight down to around that 122 or whatever it is, and it gets tougher and tougher to do that. Yeah, you could have that instance where your legs ain't gonna be 100%, or like you said, your chin ain't gonna be 100% there, because you ain't necessarily gonna have the energy that you would have if you were there at your optimal level. So you could have those moments.
Chemistry and composition, like it's
Yep.
the water. If you're not able to attain water, our bodies are built off water. It's off liquid. So if I can't, if there's not water in my brain and my brain gets shaken up, or my, what I'm saying, or just in my joints and all that stuff, period, in my body, I'm not going to operate the same. Like I said, when I fought San Martin, I was literally injured. I had a leg injury. I was not even moving nowhere. If anybody watches the San Martin fight, I didn't really hit no angles. I just kept turning them. I turned them the whole fight. I didn't hit no angles. I wasn't sidestepping like I can. I wasn't doing none of the footwork that I'm known for. I didn't do it because I couldn't. I was literally hurt. But like I said, I don't make excuses. I'm not gonna sit there and cry and wolf and fucking say, like, because all it does is give people more reason to talk shit. So I didn't say nothing. There's no reason for me to. So it is, but it was what it was. I still won the fight, and I still knocked the motherfucker out. To be honest, I mean, if anybody has seen the body shot I dropped him with, because he didn't get up until after 15 seconds. I counted several times. He didn't get up till 15 seconds. He had a 15-second rest period. So I'm saying, um, yeah, like I said, when I hit him with the body shot, it was a clear sternum shot, like close to the solar plex, and he dropped. And it was over. Like I knew it was over. I had got relaxed and everything. I was like, oh, it's over. He done. He ain't getting up. Then all of a sudden they said low blow. I was like, low blow. And I had one. I didn't really realize until I had watched the tape after the fight. When I watched the tape, I was like, wow, that is absurd. I almost thought he got paid off. Cause I'm like, I mean, he was at a somewhat bad angle, but it wasn't that bad to where you can't see my fucking arm up here. Like, it wasn't like my arm was all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Because he was to the side. So I'm like, you can see if somebody's arm is low from the side point of view. No, it was all the way up here, so it like close to his chest. So it was like it was just no way. I don't know how the hell they called that a low blow, but they called it a low blow. But so I have three KOs my last three fights against solid veterans or whatever. So and that should have guaranteed me a big fight. Should it not?
Yep, like I mentioned there, that puts you, they're high in the rankings. Like I mentioned, the WBA, right, or the thing there in the WBO, and yet they haven't necessarily, had the opportunity to put you in a position to fight, some of those guys that are, potentially, world title contenders, and they end up choosing somebody else to fight. At least they're in 122, and that's kind of like the main reason why you're, kind of continuing your career at 126.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, just the time wasn't necessarily on my side in terms of the way these dudes move. Like I said, I mean, if I could have probably tried to sacrifice or whatever and went ahead and made it, but I wouldn't have been the best version of myself. And there was no way I was gonna fight in a way like that. There was no way. I wasn't gonna risk my health. I mean, And they're just like I said. I'm not even gonna say some of the stuff I want to say. I'm gonna just go ahead and hold it, keep it to myself. But regardless, with that dude, I wasn't gonna chance it. I wanted to be at my best because I know how I beat him too, and I say that wholeheartedly. Like I said, with no ambiguity, no, I would fucking beat anyway too. Absolutely, I would beat him. I know I would beat him. You know, I remember my dad. I remember my own father even questioned me when I first said that. He was like, "I don't know, son. I don't know." I said, "Dad, watch his fucking fight. I'm telling you, watch the Tapales fight. I will beat him. I'm telling you." He went and watched the fight. Called me back at 2 in the morning. Son, you'll fucking beat him. Absolutely, you'll beat him. I said, I'm not, dude. I've been doing this shit since I was 6 years old. I know what I'm talking about. Like I said, the only thing I can do though is just keep stepping, man. Just people gonna see.
Keep stepping in, keep proving yourself there. Matt, you got another question here for Wolf Elijah Pierce.
So I was curious. So you said that you've been told that you're coming back in April. Do you have like any potential opponents, any list of opponents that they're looking to match you with, or is
no? I have no clue, man. I have no clue. Right now. Like I said, I know they're focused on their inaugural show, so I'm guessing I don't know. I'm guessing it'll be somewhat, maybe a little closer to that in March. You know, I don't know. Like I said, the main thing all I'm doing right now is just getting prepared. I'm getting prepared early. I'm getting, making sure I'm on point for when that time comes around. My son, I have a newborn coming in about 3 weeks. My son will be born. So I just been focusing on family, man. Like I said, already got a daughter. So just taking care of the kids and getting everything. And I also got two got a set of twins as well. So pretty finna have a 4-piece. So that daddy duties is at the forefront right now.
so what's the preparation like when you're not sure your opponent? I know usually you guys bring in sparring partners that might be able to match what your opponent does and stuff like that. When you don't know who your opponent is, how is it that you get ready for a fight?
When you've been doing this shit as long as I have, I mean, it's really not that complicated. I can adjust on the fly. I've been in the ring with several world champions. I've been in the ring with the best. So end of the day, I mean, it's really not that much I haven't seen for real, or that I can't adapt to.
Yeah, like even like back in the amateur days, like you did mention the thing there with like Bruce Carrington, but you also shared the ring there with Rolly Romero, if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah,
was it?
I beat Rolly.
Yeah,
I beat Rolly. That's how I got to go to the Olympic trials in 2016.
yeah. So yeah, all that happened in Baltimore there and that competition there. So
No,
yeah,
we was in Philly.
Oh, Philly. All right,
Yeah.
So yeah, you've seen like you said, a number of different styles, from the time you was young up to right now. So the thing about it is, it's like regardless of who's out there, in the particular division, whether it's 122 or now 126, you'll be ready and prepared for any one of those guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question because 126, obviously we got the IBF with Angelo Leo. He has his mandatory with Kamita. You got the WBC with Fulton, the champion. He's probably going to have to face the winner of that Carrington Vivas fight. And then you got Ray Vargas, who's the champion in recess. So you might be blocked at like each sanctioning body when it comes to fighting for the belt. So why 126 instead of going straight to 130, where you might have a easier path to a title shot?
I mean, I could, but right now, like I said, my management, like I said, because it's if I'm going to 22, I might as well go ahead and get because the problem with at 22 is that anyway had all the belts. That was the issue. So nobody wanted. So it was just I was kind of fucked there too because nobody wanted to fight me because everybody was trying to get a shot at anyway. Everybody know anyways he's the big money at 122. You're not everybody else is, you might get 100,000, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
or maybe 80, 75,000, you know, something like that. But you fight anyway, you're damn near almost gonna get $1 million, close to $1 million. So of course, everybody is literally cherry picking their way to $1 million. So nobody is going to put themselves in danger, except me. I didn't give a fuck who I fought. I didn't care. But I just beat whoever they put in front of me. What
Yeah, word.
so with 126, it's 4 different champions. So obviously I'm like, okay, I've been wanted the Fulton fight. I've been wanted that fight ever since me and him had got into it. That was when I was still at 122.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened. I think that was even before my fight with San Martin. I believe so. Yeah, that was even before my fight with San Martin. That was because that was in June. That happened in June. So I didn't fight San Martin until August. I was supposed to fight him June 28th, but due to me getting sick, I didn't fight him. But we end up rescheduling the fight to August, and then I fought him in August. So like I said, I've been wanted. It ain't like I just now wanted the Fulton fight just because he won the title. I've been wanted to fight his ass. I just was waiting until I got a belt at 122, so then I could go straight up, and it would make sense because I
Mm-hmm.
know how it works. When you already a champion at a weight class, it's easier to get the bigger fights. Obviously, at the next weight class. So
Mm-hmm.
that was just really where I was thinking, but because of the way stuff went, I didn't get a chance to become a champion at 22. I had to go up. Now I'm still ranked number 5. You know, right now in the WBA or number 6 or whatever. Really number 5 in the WBA because I know there's one spot missing or whatever. But and then the other rankings have yet to come out, so I'll probably be around the same areas I was in the other station number. I mean, in the other station bodies at 22, I'll probably be
Yeah.
around the same. So
Yep.
Like no lie, your best bet is probably going the WBO route because I know with the WBA, this kid that just fought this past weekend, Mirko Cuello, he's like the mandatory now for Nick Ball. You know, Fulton got 2 mandatories. Leo got a mandatory, and I don't think Espinosa has a mandatory though. So would that be a fight that you're interested in?
respectfully, the best route for me is for Fulton to quit being a little bitch and to step in the ring and fight me. That's the best bet. That's really what though it's the best bet.
Yeah. Yeah. So you gotta, like I said, get into the mix there in the WBC and tell them, yo, hey, I want you, like you said there, especially you, Stephen Fulton, because you're talking about, hey, I got ass whipping stored in the closet for you, like you said, Angelo Leo, Nick Ball, Rafael Espinosa, Robici Ramirez, and
Like I
Stephen
said,
Fulton.
any of them can get it too. Like I said, I'm not just solely just trying to only get Fulton. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll fight them too. Shit, if whatever route gotta happen is what I don't care. That's the thing. I don't give a fuck what route I gotta go to get the big fight or whatever. I want the big fights. Period. Only thing I'm saying is that particularly who I want the most is Fulton because I don't like him. I think he's a punk. I think he gives me the same vibe as Tank. They're fucking like emotional divas. They're like once they get a little money, they start turning into divas, and I don't like that. They don't represent masculine men. They fucking corny hot like Hollywood girls type shit. I don't like that type of stuff, especially because me, I don't know, just how I was brought up. I was brought up from an old school cloth. Like
Mm.
that's just what it is. I don't like the way me and him even start beefing was just the corniest shit ever. Like, nigga, I said I respected you in the same sentence, but you mad because I said, oh, I because in a way gonna respect me. I'm not Stephen Fulton. That's why you that upset to where you go on Twitter and you call me trash because that's how it all started.
Mm.
A fan of mine had commented on he said he was coming back, right? And a fan of mine had commented, "Hey, you should fight Elijah Pierce for your return fight." He said, "I ain't gonna fight that nigga trash as fuck." Blah blah blah. He said something he trash as fuck. something, and I'm like, and I was like, whoa, hold up, dude, what you calling me trash for? Like, the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm confused. Like, what you calling me trash for? Oh, you spoke on my name, blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
And that was before the drink that y'all had in Vegas.
huh? Yeah, that was before. That was before we actually met up in Vegas.
Yeah.
So what was crazy about it? Like I said, I wasn't even on no disrespectful type of time. I was literally curious, like, why this dude mad? Like, I didn't understand. I was really confused. So I was going. He was doing the. He actually seen me. He seen me before. We was walk. Me and my homeboys was walking, and then he was walking with his little crew. They seen us. I know he fucking seen us. He turned around and walked the other way. I swear for God, I swear. This nigga turned around and walked the other way. Then he was doing the interview with Fight Hype. Me and my homeboy said, "Hey, there go Food and Go right there." I said, "Okay." So I posted up by myself. I walked over there by myself, went right behind the interviewer's camera, and I'm just sitting there, just mean mugging him, just looking at him. And I'm just waiting because I wanted to have a private conversation for him. When he got done with the interview, I was gonna pull him to the side and say, "Hey, bro, what's up with you? Like, why are you doing all that? Well, you know, with the I ain't showing you nothing but respect, blah blah." We could have talked it out like men. Because at the end of the day, I do believe in supporting black, bro. That's like, truthfully, that's what it was for me. I actually do believe in supporting my black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I don't be trying to get on that type of time with them. I mean, if that makes me cliche or whatever the case, whatever. Like, that's truthfully how I was thinking of it in my head. Like, damn, why you trying to be for me, black brother? You know what I'm saying? Why are you trying to take it there with me? I ain't do nothing to you. So I walked over, like I said, he came, and then I was gonna have a private conversation. Then he pointed me over. You know, he called me to him when he finally seen me standing behind the damn camera. So then I walked up to him, and then that's how I went. And even when I approached him, I just said, "Hey, what's up? So we gonna fight? Wait, what's up?" He started, "Oh, you was talking about me, blah blah, whatever." You know, we what these niggas keep saying, they said I was copping please. I don't know what that means, but they said I was copping please. I explained. I said, "Dude," Ellie sat back, asked me a quick. I was kind of confused on what he was talking about. Like before, I was like, "What are you?" I didn't understand why he was mad. He was mad about that specific comment because I said that I wouldn't get knocked out like him. So, like I said, I didn't really understand at the time until after I had rewatched the interview, and I was like, "Wow, that's why he's mad like this," because I said I wouldn't get knocked out like him. Like I was supposed to say, "Oh yeah, anyway, knock me the fuck out too, just like you." So, bottom line, so that was pretty much, like I said, how it went. And then I even told him, the interviewer from Fight High asked us. He said, "Who do you think will win if y'all fought?" I said, "Me, by knockout," and looked dead at him in his face. And he tried to play Hollywood and, "Oh, you believe this nigga? Y'all believe him?" And then he walked off. And I said, "Oh, that's what I thought." I said, "Let's fight. Let's fight." I asked him 3 times, "Let's fight. Let's fight. Let's fight." "Oh man, y'all believe him? For real?" Yes, nigga, I'm saying let's fight. I will beat you the fuck up. That's what I'm saying. But see, if I would have done all that, then I would have been clout chasing. Or I would have been being extra. It's like I said, people are always gonna find some way to minimize or act like you're doing something.
Or
And
try to,
me,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, me, and I didn't even feel the need like I had to do all that. Now, if I was to see him today though, boy, nigga, I'd be right at that nigga front door talking about, "Boy, I'll beat your ass right now. Fuck you talking about?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you done got me gassed up. Now you really got me on that type of time because now I don't respect you anymore. Now I think you a hoe. I think you a bitch. And that's really how I feel. Because you're effeminate. Because you didn't have the decency as a man to actually talk and with respect and really even relay what the fuck you even mad about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this supposed to be, like I said, from black man to black man. But now, like, he supposed to be Muslim. Like I said, it's like all that stuff, bro. Like I said, these niggas is just frauds, period. And like I said, I'm ready to take out the trash on these niggas. I'm done. I'm done with all that goofy shit.
Yeah, you just wanted them to, be, straightforward and actually explain something, or like you said, like try to set up a fight or whatever it is, and it looked like he dismissed it.
Yeah, that was it. He dismissed it, and somehow that was him punking me because he dismissed the fight with me when I was dead ass serious about fighting him. I mean, and I just approached it respectfully. I didn't feel the need to have to be cussing and doing all that. Oh, motherfucker, oh, dude. Like, I didn't feel the need to do all that. But like I said, now what? Just you just better hope I don't see him again. That's all I know. Cause I'm a fucking embarrass him. I'm a really pull his card if I see him again.
Mm, mm. So yeah, we're looking to see if you could work towards that particular fight here by the end of this year, man. Like I said, first off, we gotta figure out what's going down in April. We'll have to catch up with you on that as far as like getting an update on that. Hey, y'all gotta follow him on social media for sure. He's on X or whatever they call it there, and also on Instagram there. So y'all can find it on Instagram and on X. Is there like Matt or Abaxon Academy? You got anything else here for the Wolf, Elijah Pierce?
Nah, hey, listen, I think he pretty much said it all. But I'll probably be chatting with him soon because I'm supposed to be doing like a little collabo with OTX soon. So maybe he's one of the guys that Tony's gonna send over my way. So we'll probably chop it up soon.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You'll be able to catch them there on X there with Brunch Boxing. So they'll set up something there where you could be on the spaces there for that, and you'll be able to talk on the thing there for the platform on Brunch Boxing.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said,
I gotta tell you, like the people from PBC, they do listen to the show regularly. So if you got a message you want to get out to them, yeah.
No, I mean, like I said, it's already being done. Like I said, my promoter, Brendan and Sean Gibbons, you know what I'm saying? They already. I told them today. Matter of fact, I said I fucking want that Fulton fight. I want that shit bad. I want like whatever I got to do to get that fight. I want that fight. And then they said, okay, well, we'll talk to PBC and see what we can do. So
yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, you seen what happened in that fight. You made that phone call and you said, "Hey, man, that guy there with the Timbs or whatever that jean outfit was there on
Man,
Saturday."
motherfucker like a Def Jam Fight for New York character, boy. Get that shit out of here. That shit was fucking ugly as shit. I don't care what nobody says. He looked like the Hulk from New York. Man, get the fuck out of here.
He said, "Not that Def Jam vendetta stuff." Oh man, damn, yo. Yeah, but we definitely want to look forward to seeing what's going to happen here with you there here in the next couple months. So yeah, once we get that update there from OTX Boxing, we'll definitely catch up with you here later on down the line so that you can formally announce that you have that fight secured. Feel me?
No doubt, bro. I mean, like I said, it's always a pleasure, man. We didn't had a couple interviews, so I appreciate you reaching out to do another one.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So big ups to you, man, and hope to see more from you here real soon.
Absolutely, y'all definitely will. Like I said, in April, expect fireworks because I'm not playing with nobody. I am so tired of. I'm just tired, bro. Like I said, I've worked my ass off. I've relentlessly to be where I'm at, and to still not be respected. I don't give a fuck. Of course, it's gonna put a chip on your shoulder. Like that shit pisses me off, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna keep taking it out on opponent after opponent. And the healthier that I feel, obviously going up, y'all gonna see the after effects of that. Watch when I sleep whoever I fight in April, and then I sleep Fulton or I sleep whoever's next before him, or just keep sleeping motherfuckers. Then maybe people will get the point. So. And also a pleasure to meet the other gentleman I was speaking with as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's Matt there, Brunch Boxing. And you had like Box Academic here in the building as well there. So big thanks here for you chopping it up with us. And yeah, we're definitely going to hear more from you here real soon.
No doubt, bro. Till then.
Yeah, no doubt. So that's our guy there, the Wolf, Elijah Pierce. Of course, you follow him on social media. He's on X and he's on Instagram. And yeah, he definitely had a lot to say about Stephen Fulton, man. I'm like, oh my goodness, man. So that's his target here by the end of 2025 and everything like that. So definitely looking forward to see what first is going to be happening here in April, as he's going to be part of the OTX event there in April. And then after that, let's see, if he's going to be put in position to, eventually fight Stephen Fulton there for the WBC featherweight title. So I'm looking forward to all that. And hey, Matt, I'll tell you, we definitely have a lot of pieces on this conversation to chop up and share. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on. Hey, man.
Hey, listen. If I would have known he's gonna be going that footing like that, I'd have left the chat, man. I can't be seen. They call me Mr. PBC, man. What we doing here, Jay?
He's like, oh no. Oh man, yeah. Hey, you got smacked like that in the building talking about I'm an instigator. Hey man, listen, all I'm doing is just providing the avenue for people to expound on what is going on or what happened, and that's what I did there with Elijah Pierce. So shout out to Elijah Pierce on that front.
Hey, listen, you can't control what people say.
Yeah, I can't control what people say. Hey, the views of Elijah Pierce aren't necessarily the views of the boxing source. How about that?
But we would like to see the fight. We would like to see the fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely would like to see the fight. And given what he said as far as like who he's working with, there, hey, we could see that happening here in the future. You know what I mean? So if he's working with what was it, subsidiary of Manny Pacquiao Promotions, then we could get this fight going. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Now I want now.
Elijah kind of put me in the mind of Killmonger. I ain't gonna even lie.
Oh man,
like you know what I'm saying? He like ready. He wanted.
Yeah,
convicted. He just put me in the mind of whatever I saw in that movie. Yeah.
So we'll see how that eventually gets.
Wait, who's Killmonger?
Okay, Matt doesn't watch movies. So there's a blockbuster movie called The Black Panther, and
Forget it. Come on, you watching cartoons, dog? Come on.
So Matt, this is the same thing of you telling me that the referee didn't skip a count at 5. This the same thing where you think you're so right, and I'm gonna let you continue thinking you're right. But everybody else in the world knows who Killmonger is. If they're black, Matt, they know.
Well,
Ask the people on your show. Ask the people on your show.
Tell them they too old to be reading comic books.
Come on, man. Oh, jeez, man. But you know what though? Since I have both of y'all here, I gotta go through this here, before we roll out, because actually for tomorrow I will have Dimitri Salita of Salita Promotions on with me. So we're going to be talking about the event that happened last Sunday, headlined by Clarissa Shields versus Danielle Perkins, right? Of course, with Clarissa Shields winning the undisputed heavyweight championships. Now, on the Boxing Source podcast on Monday, we did touch on that particular fight and a few things that happened during the particular fight, and the actual result of the fight with Clarissa Shields getting the win. And we had a few comments in reference to Clarissa Shields and how she performed in the fight and her overall legacy. And now that we have Mr. Matt here with us, that says that me and the Boxing Academic are a bunch of hoteps hating on a beautiful black queen like Clarissa Shields.
Queen.
Okay.
Whoa. Whoop that trick.
So we want to see if we could rehash this particular conversation. Hopefully the Boxing Academic has the information that he had queued up from the last time there. And we want to go ahead and expound on that conversation, because I was talking about the thing there with Clarissa Shields, and in our last conversation that Matt brought up the part about Clarissa Shields winning multiple vacant titles and how they're, having that happen is, bringing more interest to women's boxing. So I think if I'm not mistaken, 8 of the fights that Clarissa Shields have had in her career have been for vacant belts, whether it's like a world title or a secondary title there. But there's other things there where we could go ahead and kind of like expound on. I want to see if I could pull up something there that where is it that Mike was saying here some time back. Let me see here if I could pull it up. It said like, what is it? Quote, "I'll be the first woman in women's boxing history to ever do this. I've never looked at boxing as men and women. I look at it as just a sport. Now I can be mentioned with names like Muhammad Ali, Alexander Usyk, and Evander Holyfield. I'm super happy to just add my name as a heavyweight undisputed champion alongside them. They are the greats." Okay. Now that is what Clarissa Shields said. Now, I'm not sure if you caught what I was talking about there, Matt, on Monday. I said that having Clarissa Shields winning the undisputed heavyweight title in the amount of competition that she is fighting in is like comparing Class 6A football to Class 1A football.
Oh, man, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Oh boy!
And before you get angry, man, and throw tables, just listen.
Hold on. Read on. Speak, my brother, about this beautiful black queen, my brother.
So who are you trying to be now? Zeus? You're trying to be Zeus to Arsenio Hall. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Y'all on some bullshit. All right, continue. I'm sorry. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
Okay.
Continue.
So what we looked up is we said, listen, you have Clarissa Shields that is competing in divisions that have, a total of 15 or 17 fighters registered within the within the division, so to speak. So you're not going to necessarily have that amount of competition. Well, of course, in comparison to those that are like welterweight on down in women's boxing, right? So that's almost like, like I said, you're having limited pickings there when it comes to fights or fighters within those particular divisions. So it's like, okay, yes, she's able to perform at an optimal level against a number of these fighters, but when you have just about 14 other fighters there within that particular division, like who else are you're there to go ahead and fight? You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how I put it. I had something else here. I'm not sure if the Boxing Academic has that statement thing there from, as he says, Chat GPT. But if he's able to have that queued up, to see if he'll be able to go ahead and speak on that there for a little bit while I go ahead and look at a couple of other things there when it comes to the overall competition there in women's boxing, particularly above 160 and 168, because even at cruiserweight, they're talking about there's only 2 people registered there within the cruiserweight division and 30 people registered.
Because first of all, there is no cruiserweight division in women's boxing. So,
well, you got to tell that to Mr. Boxrec Gray.
Well, there aren't any. So once again, Boxrec is wrong. Go look at the sanctioned body rankings. There is no cruiserweight division at all in any of the sanctioned body rankings.
Oh man, hey, like I said, take that up with Boxrec Gray Johnson there.
Are you ready for me?
I will.
Yeah.
So, Matt, following our conversation a few weeks ago, where you made your comment and you call us some hotep. I will not say the word.
Read on.
I decided to do something because I actually thought you had a really good point. And so, JR and I were at the fight. Shout out to JR. And, I watched the fight and I was, we were actually watching the fight somewhere, but I was watching the fight and I noticed that Danielle Perkins was very athletic. I noticed that, she was very rangy. I could tell she was a little bit older with the amount of punches that she had the ability to throw. So I decided to, look her up and just kind of see what AI ChatGPT said about her. So to your point, she was a decorated amateur, having won a couple different world championships, a bronze one year and then a gold medal the next year. I could be wrong.
Yeah, she has more than one bronze.
Okay, multiple bronzes.
See, the difference between me and you is I don't need to look at ChatGPT because I noticed that. So first of all, you could have just looked on the brunch. Hold on. You could have just looked on the brunch boxing page because I actually posted about it. Okay, so I can tell you her record.
Matt, can I finish what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and then you come after me.
No doubt. I'm listening.
And so I could have looked on the brunch boxing website and got it right, and I'm sure that I will get some things wrong. So I do appreciate you keeping me on track, Matt. So I found out, that she was very decorated in her amateur career. But before that, Danielle Perkins had a notable career as a professional basketball player.
Yeah. She went to St. John's in New York. She's from New York, from Brooklyn.
Oh man,
big Brooklyn
nice
in the building.
Brooklyn in the house.
Yeah.
So she played overseas. She played professional basketball in a number of different countries.
Yes.
But her basketball career was cut short.
Severe knee injuries. Yes.
In 2008, when she was left temporarily paralyzed, and it ended her professional basketball career.
She had some very bad knee injuries. Okay, they wasn't sure if she was going to walk again, but because of her grit and determination, and the fact that she was a supreme athlete her entire life, she was able to overcome that. And then she turned to fucking boxing and automatically became a decorated amateur. This is an exceptional athlete.
It is an exceptional athlete. All right, so let me finish. So as I was saying, the reason why she stopped basketball was because she had a car accident and she was paralyzed. After she was paralyzed, she did what she needed to do, rehabilitated, and she ended up transitioning to boxing. She did all of those great things that we named, where she won the bronze medal in 2018 World Championships and a gold medal in 2019. And then she ended up coming to boxing with her professional debut being in August 2020. And so, JR, can you tell me the frequency in her fights for a second?
Now, you had the thing there where she fought a couple of times in 2020, and then fought once in 2021. And after that, her next fight was in 2024.
And so the fight in 2021 was her winning what?
The WBC silver heavyweight title.
Okay, so she won a minor silver heavyweight title. And so in 2024, she ended up fighting more. And then now in 2025, she fought Clarissa Shields for the undisputed heavyweight championship. So one thing that has to be said for sure, Danielle Perkins is an exceptional athlete. You can tell it by her giving issues to Clarissa Shields. And one thing that I noticed, if there was a prototype fighter that had the tools to do it, it would be a tall, rangy fighter that was athletic, that could keep Clarissa Shields on the outside. That would be the prototype that I think would give her the most trouble. But neither here nor there. What I'm saying is her winning undisputed leaves a lot to be desired. And the reason why is because as great as Danielle Perkins is, she fought 5 times. She won. She was challenging for undisputed with a minor belt. Clarissa Shields had a couple belts, couple heavyweight belts, and then a few more belts were vacant to allow her to fight for that undisputed. Now, one thing that people knock Floyd Mayweather on in regards to the how does he rate in terms of the all-time greats is that most people say after his rise up to him being the man, he never fought anyone who really truly had an opportunity to beat him. And so with a lot of other people who you compare him to in yesteryear, they did fight people who had opportunities to beat them. Now, I'm not knocking people for not losing because, you know, you're great. If you're great, you're great. But I'm simply saying a lot of people knock Floyd Mayweather because he hasn't fought in since he got to that level. He didn't fight anyone who really had a realistic chance of beating him. Taking that back to Clarissa Shields, making it very simple and plain. The reason why her undisputed leaves a lot to be desired because she hadn't fought anyone who really had an opportunity to beat her. Anyone that was favored, anyone where the fight was truly, up in the air. Is that her fault? No, it's not her fault. But what I will say, when it comes to the men and it comes to undisputed, Clarissa Shields is one blessed woman. She has the ability, she has the connection, she has everything in place. She has the skill to be able to automatically be put in line for these undisputed title shots. Whereas up until recent, the men, I mean, nobody sniffed the ability to be undisputed. It wasn't until recent where people really got past all of those the
Matches with the promoters and all the other
the
stuff.
politics
The
to be
politics.
able to do undisputed. And so when you have a lower depth of competition, you sort of get put in the front of the line. And again, it ain't her fault. But the reason why you don't have many men being undisputed is because of politics, is because there's a lot more competition, et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to stop and see if JR has anything else to add before we let you come in and start talking about us.
Before
so
I cook you, before I cook you.
all right,
You said
so
something real stupid that I gotta touch on. So we'll
so
get to it though.
so the thing is, I did quote the statement from Clarissa Shields in reference to her saying that it should be separate as far as like having a comparison. It should be all encompassing. So that is why she is putting herself in the same light as Muhammad Ali, as a Alexander Usyk, as a Evander Holyfield. In the case of like an Alexander Usyk or an Evander Holyfield, or I'll even bring another one here, Terence Crawford. These guys have been able to win, either the undisputed titles in multiple weight classes or a version of something where it's like they're the top fighter in multiple weight classes, and they were able to fight and defeat fighters that could be suggested or hinted at to be Hall of Famers. And I mentioned this before in the previous conversation that with Clarissa Shields, she doesn't necessarily have that fighter there where you could say that when it's all said and done, one of those opponents is going to end up in the Hall of Fame. That's on one front. But the other thing, going to what Boxing Academic is talking about, as far as like the thing with competition, particularly with the higher weights, is it's like I'll put it to like a Clarissa Shields to like a Katie Taylor or something like that, where Katie Taylor has much more competition within her weight class in comparison to a Clarissa Shields. So if you have like a fight like Katie Taylor there versus Amanda Serrano there on a couple of occasions, or even with the fight against Chantel Cameron, the first fight against Chantel Cameron, where she ended up being on the short end on that particular front. Like those are like bouts where it says like, hey, you know what? You see on paper that this particular matchup is closer, and that you could get something where the other fighter that's opposing Katie Taylor could potentially win there. With Clarissa Shields, it's almost like to the point of she's highly favored in all of the matchups that she is in. Now, I open the floor,
Which means she will always be criticized.
Go ahead, Pat.
So I would like to say the Boxing Academic was like, oh, this girl only had 5 fights. Oh, Clarissa Shields fight for undisputed. How she fighting for undisputed? With the man, you would never get that when somebody's fighting for undisputed in such little fights. Well, au contraire, mon frere, because there was a guy who fought for the undisputed heavyweight championship in only 8 fights. He had a draw with Scott Liddell, okay, and somehow he was able, because he was a decorated amateur, to get a heavyweight undisputed title fight. His name was Leon Spinks, and he fought the greatest Muhammad Ali, and he won. Who's to say? Who's to say that Danielle Perkins wasn't going to have her Leon Spinks moment and upset the female Muhammad Ali, Clarissa Shields? But it
Did
wasn't
Leon
to be.
Spinks get paralyzed?
No, but first of all,
Okay.
wait, hold on. Go look at Leon Spinks' career though. Hey, listen, Ric Flair got paralyzed and ended up winning 16 championships in wrestling. Wrestling 1 hour matches every night. Okay? So just because you overcome triumph doesn't make you a lesser fighter. Like, what are we doing here? She overcame triumph. And I can guarantee you've never seen her fight before. If you would have watched the Fahey fight where she hit Fahey with that uppercut that splattered her face, you wouldn't be talking the way that you do. The thing is, Danielle Perkins is a very good fighter. She's just not Clarissa Shields. That's what people are not understanding. Clarissa Shields is in her phase of her career, like where Terence Crawford was at 140. He was so much better than everybody that when he finished 140 and left, people said 140 was trash. He was so much better than everybody at 147. When he left, people say, "Oh, this is the weakest welterweight division in quite some time." Bro, when you are greatness personified, you make everyone else look like ants. Okay, so
The division with
but
Ndongo was
but
trash.
but hold on, but hold on, but hold on, but hold on. But you know what's funny about what you said? You said, "Oh, it's gonna take a tall, rangy person to beat Clarissa Shields." Bro, she's not gonna get that at any weight class. She didn't get that at 154. She didn't get it at 160. She didn't get it at 168, and now she's not getting it at heavyweight. Every weight division she goes through and she runs through, like there's no competition for her. And y'all say she's not fighting nobody, but now everybody hype at, oh, Natasha Jonas versus Lauren Price. Oh, this is happening at 154 now. Look what's happening in this division. This it happens all the time because she is so great. But when Clarissa Shields is at 154, oh, she's not fighting nobody. She cleaned up. What are we talking about here? The fuck are y'all talking about? She cleaned up. She was better than everybody. The only person who Clarissa Shields didn't get to fight was a certain Norwegian welterweight who wanted no fucking parts of Clarissa Shields. And I'm talking about Cecilia Brækhus. Okay, that's the only person that Clarissa Shields missed, and she only missed her because Brækhus didn't want to fight her. But everybody else, everybody wanted her to fight. She fought them all. She fought them all. She fought Savannah Marshall. She fought Christina Hammer, who people thought was going to beat her. Okay? She became undisputed 4 times. 4 times undisputed. 4 times. Three
How
different
many
weight
vacant
divisions.
belts were up in all of those undisputed runs? I would be interested to know that.
Bro, you said you did research. You said you did research. So go do your research. So my thing is this. Like I said before, Clarissa Shields at heavyweight, she is a trailblazer. Okay? And when you are the first person through the door, when you're Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, then you're gonna have the racist harassing you and the people harassing you. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that.
When
But
you
guess
Jackie
what?
Robinson, they'll throw you an
No, no.
underhand ball, huh?
But hold on. But
They'll
listen,
give you a softball pitch, huh?
but listen, after Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, we started getting more black players. You know, we started getting the Reggie Jacksons, the Henry Aarons, the Willie Mays. We started getting more players. So Clarissa Shields broke the barrier. It might take another 10 or 20 years, but you're gonna see that because of Clarissa Shields, because of the sacrifices that she made, being the trailblazer that she is, that the heavyweight division in women's boxing is gonna be something to behold. You know, and it's just a shame that, like it is so many times in history, we can't appreciate it in real time. But she's gonna get her flowers eventually. She is the greatest women's fighter of all time, bar none. She's gonna be a future Hall of Famer, first ballot, bar none. And to me, she is to be respected for all her accomplishments and achievements. Because if it was so easy, why nobody else doing it? Why nobody else doing it? Clarissa Shields just got to heavyweight last year. Why nobody else was trying to clean up? Why nobody else was beating up everybody? Because they're not as good as Clarissa Shields. She's able to do it. Now, she's going to be able to fight better competition because Franchon Cruz might go up to heavyweight to fight her. Maybe she can get a Shadeja Green. Maybe she can get Savannah Marshall to come back over from PFL and get this work. You know, maybe she'll move down to fight some people. Who knows? But listen, and JR, you should know this because you've interviewed these women. You know, like that commenter said, you are a troublemaker. You try to stir the pot. Whatever happened to Tika Hemingway? Huh? Whatever happened to Raquel Miller? Huh? What happened to all these women that you on your show interviewed these women that were gonna, yeah, motherfucker, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, that was gonna kick Clarissa Shields' ass. What happened? What happened to them, JR? What happened? Last woman standing, the fucking GOAT. Okay? Understand.
If I'm not mistaken, Raquel Miller is on her way back to the ring, so I think that we'll have an updated reference to Raquel Miller. As far as
she like 39, 40 now. Don't nobody want to see that no more. Nobody want to see that. She like 40 years old now.
Oh my God.
Ain't nobody gonna want to see that. Like, she fine. She is fine, I'll tell you that. But ain't nobody gonna want to see that no more. Now they're gonna be like, now somebody like Mike gonna be like, oh, well, look how old she is. Why she fighting another old woman? Well, she was supposed to fight her years ago, but she ain't really want that smoke with the GOAT. They act like they want it, but they don't really want it. That's the problem with these people, man. They don't really want that smoke. What? Why Cecilia Brækhus didn't fight her, JR? You tell me.
I don't know. I thought Cecilia Brækhus was there at 147 pounds.
Wait. So she couldn't move up to 154? Clarissa Shields for that 154, 160, 168, heavyweight. So you telling me Cecilia Brækhus too good to move up a little bit? Huh?
Maybe she was a little bit too. Maybe she was too up in age to do it.
But why is Alicia Bumgarner still at 130? You tell me. Why she's still at 130? Because Michaela Mayer, who was at 130, she's at welterweight now, and she might move up to 154. So why the fuck is Alicia Bumgarner still at 130? You telling me that her and Clarissa Shields couldn't meet at 154? These girls don't want to fight her. They'll talk shit about her, but they don't want to fight her. And you men are supporting this shit by trying to, oh, well, what about the competition? You know what's so funny about this competition shit? And this is what really pisses me off. When people compare Amanda Serrano, Clarissa Shields, oh, well, in Amanda Serrano's divisions, there's so much more competition. Can you tell me who Amanda Serrano beat? What was her best win? What, Delphine Persoon? Who everybody basically gangbanged at this point?
Wow.
Like, who she beat? Who she beat? Like, if you the last nigga in the gangbang, the pussy ain't that good no more. Okay?
Whoa, Matt. This is a family-friendly show, Matt. This is a family-friendly show.
Fuck that. Who she beat? Everyone talks about competition. It's not. It's also about who you beat. Heather Hardy.
Sarah Mahfoud.
Who? Heather Hardy. Who can't fucking
Sarah
box.
Mahfoud.
Come on. What's so funny? If you look at who Clarissa beat versus who somebody like Amanda Serrano beat, I guarantee you would admit Clarissa Shields beat better competition. I guarantee. Just because here's the thing. Yeah. Go ahead.
Now you know who could pretty much like settle this as reference to the resumes is our guy Cliff Rowe. Cliff Rowe will probably have a good insight as to who both of those fighters beat.
I love Cliff, but he don't really follow women's boxing like that. I'll tell you that. He don't really follow women's boxing like that. But here's my thing though, right? People always talk about the competition and the amount of people in the division, but Who cares how many people are in the division if you're not fighting the top people? Like, if you look at Amanda Serrano's record, who people love to compare Clarissa Shields to, she never really fought the top people in her division. She went belt hopping with the WBO because the WBO is a Puerto Rican organization based in Puerto Rico. She's Queen Puerto Rico. So if you look at her record, everything is WBO here, WBO, because they let her belt hop because she's Puerto Rican and fighting for the WBO. She ain't fight nobody. She ain't fight nobody. So we got to stop it. We have to stop it.
Like, all right, let me go to her real quick. She fought for WBO featherweight title, WBO super bantamweight title, WBO bantamweight
I
title,
told you. I fucking told
WBO super lightweight title, and then after that, the WBO super flyweight title, and then back to the WBO featherweight title.
Yo, bro. People don't understand that I actually follow women's boxing. I used to love women's boxing before Heather Hardy and Lou DiBella lied to me. Okay, I used to love women's. I used to follow it very closely. I know ball. I know what's going on here.
Yeah, and you know, but it's interesting there that you brought up the thing there with Terence Crawford, particularly there in the 140-pound division, because you know in the past here, you know, we have talked multiple times in reference to Terence Crawford's resume at 140 pounds and compared it to you know other fighters that have made runs at 140 pounds and how you know it wasn't necessarily the same. So I felt that was pretty interesting there.
Which he wasn't better than Tim Bradley and or Danny Garcia, which is what we're saying. Even though he has the highest accolades out of all of them.
Now, here's another thing there. I guess there's you know some fighters that are like brought up as greats in the sport, and another fighter that you know kind of gets a lot of criticism here is Lennox Lewis, and the reason why is because Lennox Lewis didn't necessarily fight the guys that were pretty much the top guys in his era until well after all of those guys fought each other. So especially with the Evander Holyfield and the Mike Tyson. So I'm not sure, you know, how they have it in reference to the thing for women's boxing, but yeah, we got to see like what would be out there for Clarissa Shields here in the future, particularly whether it's the heavyweight division or the light heavyweight division or whatever, and see how she'll be able to be put in as far as like be in comparison to a number of the fighters that she brings herself up to be compared with. I mean,
did you see that Jalaloff is off his card tomorrow?
oh shoot, man, we got folks going off of cards. We got Bakir Jalaloff going off the card. We got Lester Martinez off that Pro Box card again. Oh man, what is going on here, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like absolutely insane, man.
He fell ill according to Top Rank.
No, okay. Hey, you know, hopefully he gets well real soon, man. But you know, we got these other fights that's in action or whatever it is, man. I didn't see if I got a notice there on the email in reference to that, so I have to go ahead and check that out to see if they had something. But yeah, for now, I don't see anything in reference to an update in reference to that. I did get something where it says was Omari Jones is gonna face what Alessio Mastronunzio.
I think he's like 14-5. He got beat by Xander Zayas first round knockout, like when Xander was coming up.
Yeah, so that's the thing there, man. So yeah, that's part of the card that's coming up in Orlando. There on March 15th. So I mean, you got a few other things here that's coming up here in the sport of boxing, but I'm looking forward to February 14th. You got Keyshawn Davis there against Zenis Berinchik there, and of course March 1st it's over in Brooklyn with Tank Davis versus Lamont Rose Jr. there. So Definitely looking forward to all that. But yeah, that was a very extensive midweek report for today. Big shout out to Elijah Pierce, and he definitely had a lot to say in reference to Stephen Fulton. So we kind of, like I said, I'm definitely going to get a number of clips there from that and go ahead and share that there. But big thanks for him to come on here to the midweek report. Shout out to, of course, Matt here of Brunch Boxing and the Boxing Academic. We will be right back at it for the Boxing Source podcast on Sunday night, scheduled for 7:30 Eastern time. Maybe depends on what happens. As about 500 billion people watch what's going on the football field in New Orleans, Louisiana. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I might just do it on Monday. But also, like I said, I'll get the thing set up here with Dimitri Solita for tomorrow. And there's also some other news that I got to post on X there when it comes to a number of other events that are happening. And I'll just say April 12th is going to be extremely busy in the sport of boxing, extremely busy in boxing. So just be on the lookout for that, and have more on that on X. And until next time, folks, I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.